In the last few months, a lot of our viewers have been sending us emails about a very important topic, and we decided to address this topic in today's conversation. And the topic is very simple. So, how do you get the $50,000 PenFed loan and the $25,000 PenFed line of credit simultaneously? Okay, how do you get both at the same time? So this is an important topic that we actually wanted to address because we have received gazillions of emails about this topic. So if you are interested in this topic, I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you're to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to address an important topic, okay? How do you get the $25,000 PenFed line of credit and the $50,000 PenFed loan simultaneously, okay? And obviously, when I'm speaking about $50,000, that's the maximum loan amount, and for the $25,000, that's the maximum line of credit amount, okay? And by the way, I just want to say one thing is that the $25,000 line of credit, you have to actually log into your PenFed account to see it, to apply for it. It's no longer available on the public domain of a PenFed, the website, okay? So here are the steps you have to follow, boss. I want you to really listen properly. If you want to apply successfully for those two credit products simultaneously, first thing first, your FICO score. You need to have a decent FICO score. And I'm talking about 600 minimum, okay? So because the things you have to understand is that we are talking about increased exposure to PenFed. In other words, they have an increased exposure to you. So you better have a decent FICO score, at least 600, okay, and that's the minimum. If you're below that, you're not going to actually get both products, okay? And we're talking about not just your payment history here, okay? You have to improve substantially your payment history. That's really a basic requirements, right? But you also have to think about your DTI. This is important. A lot of people are, because when you really think about it, if you get a PenFed loan and a PenFed line of credit, that's going to add substantially to your debt to income ratio unless you have a proportional increase in income, right? Because DTI, you have to put on top of the fraction, you have to put your debt payments, and at the bottom of the fraction, you are putting your income. So if your income stays constant, but your debt payments goes up, here you go. You have a high DTI, and you never want to have a high DTI. That's a big no-no. When it comes to a CUR, credit utilization ratio, or DTI, debt to income ratio, having a number above 30% is a big no-no. Big no-no, big time no-no, okay? And we don't want that. So you have to be very careful so that when you are actually applying for this credit products, you have a proportional increase in your income to justify that increase in debt. To tell PenFed, hey, listen, I'm making more money and I can afford the debt payments. Okay, so credit card. When we speak about FICO score, credit card, of course, plays an important role. Are you managing your credit cards right now, boss? Are you managing them properly right now? You better. The second thing I want you to pay attention to, if you are trying to get both the PenFed loan and the PenFed line of credit simultaneously, you want to actually beef up your PenFed MPR. Okay, we are talking about cultivating a strong rapport, a strong relationship with PenFed, okay? And anytime we say these things, some people just kind of laugh, whatever, laughing our asses off, whatever. But listen, you can laugh all you want, okay? I'm here to tell you that you need to buttress your relationship. If you think that you can actually just apply simultaneously for two credit products and not actually having a strong relationship with PenFed, you are out of your mind. Seriously. I'm just giving it to you straight here because credit is a game. We're not trying to play here, okay? And the thing is, because we have received a lot of emails, people telling us, yeah, I want to apply for both products, but right now I'm just a new PenFed member. Hey, listen, if you are a new member, you better wait. Because if you are a new member, you need to actually, hold your horses, wait a little bit, beef up your relationship with PenFed before applying for those two credit products. Because you have to understand, when we have the PenFed Loan and the PenFed Line of Credit, we're speaking about two different types of credit products, right? We're speaking about an installment product and a revolving line of credit. So those are two elements. So PenFed has to make sure that you are the right person, you are the right member to actually benefit from that. I mean, logically, when you start with PenFed, the first thing you want to do is credit card. You want to get a credit card because that will actually get the whole engine rolling. Okay, that's what you want to do first, so you can establish credibility. You can establish a good report also on the banking side, which you should do anyway. So when we talk about cultivating a strong relationship with PenFed, we're talking about you having a checking account. At a minimum, you need to have a checking account. You need to have a savings account. Those two are minimums. We have said this before, but people are just like, you said this. You said the same thing all the time. Yeah. Hey, I have to say it. I have to say the same thing until every one of my viewers does what I say they should do. We are here to empower people. We are here to actually make sure folks have a very stable financial situation. And if I need to repeat the same thing, I will do it. Okay? So I want you to have a checking account, and you want to go for an account called Access America. You want to have a savings account. And if you have extra cash you want to park, hey, listen, open an individual retirement account. Open a certificate of deposit. Open an MMA, a money market account. Money. Boss, where is your money at? Where is your money at? Have you parked some of your cash with PenFed, or do you have your cash elsewhere? Because if you're trying to get those two credit products, you better have a lot of cash with PenFed. Let's talk about liquidity. Okay, son, daughter, are you there? Niece, nephew, I'm talking to you. So you're probably sitting there, you're just thinking about getting both products at the same time because you have needs, right? You have things to take care of. So you're trying to get the $50,000 PenFed loan and the $25,000 PenFed line of credit simultaneously. Okay, you got to maintain healthy levels of cash flows. Grandpa, grandma, I'm talking to you too. So the question is, you're probably asking me, what do I mean by that, right? Healthy levels of cash flows. Well, you got to have positive cash flows. In other words, you got to have direct deposit, or you got to have some kind of cash flows coming into your PenFed account. I'm talking about something that is regular, not something sporadic here. Regularity, okay, regular. When it comes to cash flows, you got to remember that word, regular. It has to come recurrently. It has to be recurrent, okay? And so you got to explain to PenFed what you need the money for. And you have to remember, when we talk about a loan versus a line of credit, those two products are totally separate, and you use them for different reasons, okay? Obviously, for a line of credit, PenFed is not going to give you all the money right away. They will make available to you the line of credit. But for the loan, they have to disperse the proceeds right away. So I want you to be very clear about the explanation you are giving to PenFed in terms of what you need the money for, okay? And you want to show proof if possible. In other words, let's say you want to buy something, or you have received the bill from a home improvement or a developer or a home improvement. Let's say you want to do a renovation in the house, and you have received the bill from the renovation company. You want to show PenFed the bill and say, hey, listen, here is what I need the money for, okay? And I'm not getting the cash to go to Punta Cana on vacation, even though that's a nice destination to go to, but I need the money for some important stuff in the house, or I want to buy equipment, or I want to take care of business, whatever. You gotta have a reasons, okay? And again, you gotta have the cash flows to actually back up your claim, because all PenFed cares about, son, all PenFed cares about is your ability to repay the loan that you are going to take, your ability to repay whatever line of whatever amount you tap into the line of credit. They don't care about what you do with the money. I mean, they do care a little bit, but they don't care about what you really do with the money. They care about being repaid, okay, and being repaid on time all the time. So this is really important. I want you to talk about your net worth. Boss, this is really important. So when we talk about PenFed situation, we are really having a situation about a lot of things. We want to clarify the situation here. Okay, so we're talking about, for example, making sure that you are in a situation where you are having the right discussion with PenFed. What does that mean? Your net worth. You want to maintain a positive net worth. Boss, this is very important. And you need to prove it to PenFed. So what is net worth? Net worth is very simple, okay? You're basically taking your total assets and your total liabilities. In other words, total assets is basically what you own, okay? Your car, your house, if it's fully paid, or, your valuables, whatever you have, those are your assets. And then you have your liabilities, your debts, okay? Whatever you have. Now, I'm really talking about this because, well, a lot of folks want to apply for a line of credit and a loan simultaneously, but they're not able to actually correlate that credit products or those credit products to their net worth. I want to go back to what I said earlier. How are you going to repay PenFed? Because that's the quintessential question I care about, and that's what PenFed cares about. Because remember, PenFed all along, while they review your application, they only care about covering their ass. They are trying to mitigate risk. This is really important. This is what all lenders do. So when we talk about net worth, maintaining a positive net worth, you are showing proof of financial responsibility. Boss, financial responsibility, that's another key phrase. Financially responsible. You are able to manage your finances responsibly. You are able to have to adhere to a routine of financial discipline, okay? And the whole thing is, again, your ability to repay both credit products should be really, really, on top of your mind. So when we talk about net worth, this is not just something static, lethargic. You can't be like, listen, my net worth was $10,000 5 years ago, and it's still $10,000 today. No, net worth has to be something dynamic. You have to plan it. You have to be in a position where you have a plan, you have a vision, you have I would say a modus operandi. You have a plan, you have a mode of operation when it comes to increasing your net worth consistently and systematically over time. Now, how are you going to do that? Now, this is a topic for another show. But one thing I want to say in this show today is that if you are trying to get those two products, make sure that you can show PenFed that you have the wherewithals, you have the means, you have the resources to pay them back. And this is all PenFed cares about. So maintain a positive net worth. And you have to prove it to PenFed either through your tax returns, either through your bank statements, either through your W-2s, through whatever paperwork you have to show them to actually substantiate your claims. Do that. Let's talk about employment. Son, daughter, niece, nephew, I'm talking to everybody, dad, mom. I just want y'all to come to the table here, the family table. We need to have a very important discussion, okay? Especially if you are interested in getting the $50,000 PenFed loan and the $25,000 PenFed line of credit simultaneously. We're talking simultaneously here, okay? We're not interested in applying for one credit product and wait for 6 months and then apply for the next. No, if the game you're trying to play is to get both products because you have some needs, you got to take care of some business, whatever. You have to keep a clean job and sustain history. Your job history must be clean and must be sustained. What is that? I'm talking about no history of job hopping. Not at all. I mean, can you believe the last time you went to a party? Let's just say you went to a party or you went to a family reunion, family gathering, and you're talking to a cousin or whatever, and he or she started telling you, yeah, I just quit my job 2 weeks ago. But don't worry, I found another job. Or in the last 6 months, I have actually changed job 3 times because I know my worth, I know my value, whatever. Have you know what I'm talking about, right? People just kind of like, they just started talking and you're just like, wow, man, this person has no stability. Well, if you are at your level or saying that this person has no stability, think about what PenFed is going to say. They are going to say the same thing. So if you have a history of hopping jobs, of staying there for, for 2 months and just like, my ass is out of here. Or after 3 months, my ass is out of here. You better stop that. You need to stop that. I don't care what you don't hey. Don't you try to razzle dazzle me here. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you give me as as an excuse. Yeah, my boss was on my ass all the time. My boss is a, or the job is boring. Whatever. Hey, whatever. Okay. You gotta quit that habit of living work after 1 week or 2 weeks. Stay there and persist. Be resilient. Learn from something. Okay. You have to enjoy adversity sometimes so you can grow. So what I'm trying to say here is that you need to show PenFed that you have a clean and sustained job history. Okay, no history of job hopping. You got to show a good job, a good salary. Okay, long tenure in the same position. Okay, you have to show proof of employment and the proof of employer. So employment verification letter. If you're self-employed, 1099s and tax returns for the last 3 years should be fine. Okay, so big decision time, boss. Big decision time. Have you actually gathered the paperwork you need to show employment, to substantiate employment to PenFed? If not, I want you to start right now gathering all the paperwork you need. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about how to concurrently apply for the $50,000 PenFed loan and the $25,000 PenFed line of credit. So this is actually the discussion for today's conversation, the topic for today's conversation. So I'm going to give you a few pro tips, okay? You want to keep your paperwork handy and you want to apply at a branch. Oh yeah, oh boss, I'm telling you. Boy, son, daughter, if you want to if you want to actually do this, you want to play this game, you don't want to apply online. Never want to apply online. Even over the phone, honestly, your chances are limited. You want to go to a branch, okay? You want to keep your paperwork handy. I'm talking about your personal financial statements. In other words, your balance sheet, your personal balance sheet. It's also called statement of financial position, okay? And also your income statements, okay? That's also called your P&L. What I'm talking about, you don't have to actually be to have a PhD in accounting. Everybody can actually prepare a balance sheet, a personal balance sheet, okay? There are a lot of templates online, or you even have apps nowadays that do the work for you. So it's nothing complicated. If you need help, please drop us a comments below, and we'll certainly help you. We'll tell you how to prepare a personal financial statement, okay? You got to show your tax returns. So your 1040s for the last 2 to 3 years, okay? So when you go to a branch, you need to bring the documents I'm telling you right now, okay? So you got to have your bank statements. So if you have other accounts, if you have substantial money parked in other banks and not a PenFed, which you should not anyway, but things happen, okay? Got it, I get it. Then you want to have 2 to 3 months of bank statements from the bank, from your Wells Fargo or Chase or Navy Fed or Wells Fargo, well, Bank of America, whatever. You need to have that. And don't forget to also bring your pay stubs. Very important. Your W-2s are also important. Okay, as I said earlier, if you are, let's say, if you are self-employed, you want to bring your 1099s. Those are important. Or if you have, let's say, bills or invoices from very important clients, you have to put that. So when you have a conversation when you go to a branch, you want to gauge your approval odds. In other words, you have to speak to the rep. You have to explain why you are looking for the PenFed loan and the PenFed line of credit simultaneously. Okay, you want to have a clear conversation, and it's all about give and take. It's all about explaining and hear the rationale from the PenFed rep. Here is the bonus I want to give you. If you made it so far, I have a bonus for you. Okay, you have to maintain a good PenFed Next Gen internal score and be current on your PenFed debts. So if you currently have other PenFed debts, I want you to be current. Now you have to understand, you are asking PenFed to approve you for a $50,000 PenFed loan and a $25,000 PenFed line of credit, or you might have a lower amounts anyway. But this is a big step that you are asking PenFed to take, because you're asking them to actually trust you on two credit products. Now, if you have existing credit products with PenFed, you better be current on those. I'm talking about credit cards, or if you have student loans, if you have a mortgage and whatnot, you have to be current. Okay, you have to be current on all existing PenFed debts. Okay, and you also need to maintain a good next gen internal score. Now, the next gen internal score is similar to the FICO score at PenFed. So we're looking at 300, 350 to 8. We're looking at 300 to 850. Okay. The thing here is that PenFed also maintains their internal score similar to Navy Fed to make sure that they are actually monitoring employees. They're not employees. They're monitoring members' activities. This is really important. Okay. So those are really important, and make sure you have no overdrafts at the credit union level. No overdrafts. If you have accounts with PenFed, I want you to really forget about overdraft. Make sure that you have everything, you put everything in place to avoid that. This is really important, okay? And when we talk about also maintaining a PenFed next gen internal score that is high, you want to make sure that you are actually not only you are current on your PenFed debts, but you have to maintain a low CUR and a low DTI. Low CUR means what? A low credit utilization ratio. Credit utilization ratio on your PenFed credit cards. Okay, if you can keep something below 10% or 20%, you're fine. Don't keep like 50% CUR. This is really bad. Same thing for DTI, debt to income ratio. Okay, you want to maintain those metrics as low as possible, because as I said, once you have the $50,000 PenFed loan and the $25,000 PenFed line of credit, your DTI and CUR systematically will go up. Your CUR will go up for the line of credit, and your DTI will go up for both the line of credit and the loan if you don't have a proportional increase of income. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just explaining to you how to get both the $50,000 PenFed loan and the $25,000 PenFed line of credit simultaneously. Okay, so I spoke about the FICO score. I spoke about your PenFed MPR, your liquidity, your net worth, very important, your employment prospects. Okay, and I gave you a few pro tips and a bonus piece of advice at the end. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.